Okay, I'm going to kind of give you some my conclusions with this Taurus GX4 and also some modifications I'm going to make with it. Now, the whole idea of a Micro 9 is for a compact weapon, okay? And like I said in the shooting videos, it's a little bit more difficult of a gun to control and get used to, and you need to practice with. But one thing I found is in one simple modification I'm going to do is with the magazine, and that is adding the little floor plate that has a finger rest. And I'm going to go and show you. I have to go around and grip the gun in a different way to demonstrate it to you, but what I do is I have two magazines. This is what came with the gun, with the standard base, and this is the plate that I purchased from Taurus, and it arrived a day after I went to the range, and I put it on there. So I'm going to show you the two plates, the differences in them, and I'm going to show you the difference when it comes to my grip. And that's the one modification I'm going to do. Sights can also be modified. If you go to the Taurus website, there's a whole bunch of different sights available to place on this firearm. Alright, let's talk about the grip first. Okay, here we have the gun with the standard mag in there. As you see, when I grip it, my finger just doesn't quite get contact, and that's basically how I hold it when I shoot it. Now that is just me. I was showing this gun to a friend of mine at the gun range, and he's not a small person, okay? Actually, he may be a little bit taller and bigger than me. He could get his three fingers on this standard grip. So this goes to show you, this varies from person to person. Okay, so if you want to get one of these, running out and buying a thing, or getting the magazines with that base on there, you know, try the gun out first without it, and that's the standard. And then I added on a little extension, and now just that little tiny bit makes a difference. Now I got a firm grip on this pistol. So for me, that is, you know, I bought the bottoms from Taurus all together for two of them. It's like $18, $19 with the shipping. They're like $5 a piece. Okay, or you can buy magazines with them already installed, either or. So now, that's the first mod. Alright, for those of you that don't know, here's the finger groove base plate and the standard one that came off of that. It's very simple, you know. You notice there's an edge where this slides forward, and you just take a punch or something and depress the little button down there to release the floor plate. Slide off that one, and holding this down, it is a spring under there. Just slide the new floor plate, making sure this is all lined up. Yes. Press it down. Get it started. Then just make sure that it locks like that, and you're done. So now I have both mags where I want them with the grip. Now, speaking of magazines, there is an extended, this is 10, I think they have like a 13 round magazine or something with a spacer that when you would place it in there, it would extend this grip down a little, okay? Giving you a couple more rounds, but adding a little more to the length of the grip, which isn't too terrible, but the whole idea of a Micro 9 is trying to be as concealed or small as you can, okay? So that's going to be my only modification on this, is now I got a better grip. We'll try to take it out to the range and see what it does, see if it helps. But then, okay, so if you're interested in this gun as compared to like the Ruger and everything else, yeah. it's going to be a little less money. I did look at my friend's Ruger, and he let me handle it. Now, he carries that with him every day. Okay, the Ruger, I think the Max 9. Very similar to this, almost the same identical size. He carries that on his person. He's a business owner. He carries that with him constantly all day long. Okay. I did notice that the grip on the Ruger fit my hand a little better, and he has true glow sights on his, which he likes. He can pick them up pretty readily. But the difference is this is $375 and the Ruger's like a little over $500 with sales tax and everything else. So, you know, you can get other options. The thing about the Taurus, for what it does, its reliability, and its cost, this gun is tough to beat if you're on a budget. If you have extra money and getting a nicer gun is what you want, then yeah, you know, go right ahead. But, and another thing, a gun that you're going to carry, use, it's going to get worn, beat up and that, you know, there's going to be wear on it, it's going to be carried around, knocked about. You might be better off with the Taurus. And the lifetime warranty, it's a tough thing to beat with that. And accessories are easily available. When I ordered them floor plates, they were here within a week. So if you order any accessories, they have holsters, sights, extra mags, the bases, all of that is available on the Taurus website, which is something kind of new, but no fooling around. All right, so in looking at this, and like I said, but the only downside of this is going to be affording the ammo to practice. And also one other thing before I finish, there were several videos, or 2 or 3 of them, about the trigger on this weapon not functioning. And what it came down to was there was an individual, and he was a large man. He was left-handed. He's quite tall, and unusually in terms of size. And what he would do is when he would put his finger in the trigger, the way he grabbed it, his finger would hang out like this, okay? And he said, and actually he must have had huge hands. He said after a short shooting session with this gun, this trigger started to malfunction. And what would happen, what these guys were doing, is when they pull the trigger, you wouldn't hear it click. It would just pull, nothing would happen, you'd let go, then it would let the striker mechanism release. So this guy went on for a video. Then there was another one, made a 20-minute video. He had this gun, said he loved the gun, shot 600-700 rounds out of it. Then he goes and tries to get it to malfunction, basically by squeezing the hell out of the gun, holding it in a way, and squeezing, and trying to get it to malfunction, okay? Putting pressure on this frame. Well, yeah, you know, if I take this gun, take a ball peen hammer and smash that trigger with the hammer, yeah, it's not going to work right anymore, okay? So this is kind of ridiculous stuff. And and then it starts, I don't know what it is about YouTube and people, it's like they look for the negative stuff in there. And there was another gentleman that discussed this in a whole separate video. And he said, look, I went out there, tried all this stuff. I can't get this gun to malfunction. He goes, other than doing something and deliberately breaking a part on here, I cannot get the gun to replicate that malfunction. And the other individual, he was going on for 20 minutes, squeezing the hell out of the gun, getting it to where it didn't quite work right. Said that he contacted Taurus and everything else, and this is a big disaster, and it's on Facebook, and he's spreading the word, and he's going to protect us, and this and that. And the thing is, I think a lot of people just make these videos looking to attack or to get attention or something, and there isn't anything wrong with this gun the way it is. And like anything, I don't care who made it, if you abuse it or don't use it right or break it, yeah, it's going to malfunction. How they're getting this or how this trigger thing, I believe they've damaged the gun. Okay, now the other guy sits there and compresses this, you know, tries so hard. It is not something that happens quite often. So I would disregard any of this. And then you see it spreads out over the internet. Problems with this, problems with the GX4, problems with the trigger. And then it just becomes a topic and spreads a lot of rumor in that's unnecessarily. So I wouldn't pay attention to any of that. Okay. The only thing I found in these pistols is when you get down with the, was it TP 739, it was just so small and so compact, that little striker fire thing in the 380 little tiny pocket gun, that just inherently was sensitive to ammo. If you had ammo with a little bit harder primers than that in there. And for some people, that's a turnoff, you know, ammunition sensitive guns. That was about the only bad thing about it. And that comes in from the fact of the size. It's just a plain, simple fact. And there's no way around it. If you want something that tiny and lightweight, then you're going to have to make sure you know how it works and functions 100% reliable. And that's because it's just, you know, that tiny little mechanism, some things it can't handle. And that was about the only distraction in that pistol. Okay? Now, like this one here. For the money, really, if you want a compact 9 and that's your thing and you got to have it, you're not going to beat this deal in terms of price-wise. And plus the warranty and that on it, you can't beat it. If you want something a little bit more expensive, then yes, granted, like I said, I believe the Ruger pistol fits in my hand a little better. You know, if you get to go to a gun shop, look at the different models and see, you know, if you can compare holding one and then another and see what you like better. But this is a tough one to beat. So, you know, if you're interested in a compact 9, give it a try. And another thing, even if you don't like it, okay, it wouldn't be difficult to sell or trade this pistol. I mean, they're in demand. That's another thing about it. So, well, that's my conclusion on the new Taurus GX4 Micro 9. You know, I see nothing wrong with it for what it is. You know, I'm not going to get into holsters and that. That is an important thing, how you carry it in holsters and that. But there's a lot of videos out there you can find info on it. Something like this I usually just would carry in a jacket pocket when needed or in the vehicle. Okay, I don't wear it on my person like all day long like some people would, so I'm not going to even try to get into that. All right, well, thank you and stay tuned.